Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 62 of Sundara Kanda. In the previous chapter, we saw the monkeys who are returning back to Kishkinda after their successful mission of seeing Sita and finding out the location of Ravana where he held Sita as captive. On their way back to Kishkinda, they saw Madhuvana and they all jumped into that Madhuvana which was being preserved by Sugriva, having delicious fruits as well as the honey. And with a permission from Angada, under the leadership of Jambavan, they all entered into that Madhuvana and devoured the honey as well as the fruits which are available in abundance. Though Dadhimukha, the keeper of that forest, tried to stop them, prevent them, they chased him away and started enjoying the fruits, thereby partying for their with the jubilation. Then Hanuman said to those monkeys, O monkeys, gather honey undisturbed. I will drive away anyone who hinders you. Hearing these words, Angada, the prince of monkeys, gaily echoed his voice, saying, Do you all drink honey? We should be guided by all that Hanuman does, who has accomplished his purpose, even if it be improper, I am in accord with it. Listening to Angada, those foremost of monkeys all cried out, Excellent, excellent, praising the prince again and again. Thereafter, they surged into the Malin woods with the violence of torrent, and having penetrated into those orchards, they drove away the gods by force, happy in the thought that Hanuman had discovered Maithili, and having had tidings of her with the consent of Angada, they drank the honey and feasted on the fruits, hurling themselves on the guardians of that orchard who approached them in hundreds. They overwhelmed them with blows and beat them off, collecting honeycombs a drona in size with their hand. Those monkeys, yellow as honey themselves, drank the nectar and threw away the combs. Some in frolic pelted each other with wax, or piling up the branches sat down under the tree. Some, heavy with drink, heaped leaves on the earth and lay down exhausted, while others, stimulated by the intoxicating nectar, reeling, struck out at their companions wildly, singing at the top of their voices. Some imitated the roar of lions, and some whistled like birds. Others, drunk with honey, slept on the ground. Some roared with laughter or burst into tears. Some babbled wildly, while others tried to interpret their utterances. Meanwhile, the gods of the forest, the servants of Dadhimukha, set upon by those terrible monkeys, crushed between their knees, fled in all directions. Caught up with fear, they approached Dadhimukha and said, Empowered by Hanuman, those terrible monkeys have, despite us, laid waste to Madhuvana and crushed between their knees. We all but gave up our lives. Highly incensed, Dadhimukha, beholding the destruction in the Madhu wood, which had been entrusted to his gods, consoled his subordinates, saying, Proceed to that place and fall upon those insolent monkeys. I myself shall soon follow and drive away by force those who are drinking the honey. Hearing the words of their master, those valiant monkeys returned to Madhuvana, and Dadhimukha in their midst accompanied them with great speed, bearing huge trees, arming themselves with rocks, trees, and stones. All those monkeys, highly incensed, proceeded to where the Plavangamas were to be found, where, biting their lips in anger, they remonstrated with them again and again, seeking to suppress them by force. Then all those monkeys, headed by Hanuman, beholding Dadhimukha greatly enraged, drove him back with violence, and as the mighty Dadhimukha of huge arms advanced bearing a tree in his hand, the all powerful Angada, incensed, intercepted him with his hands and beside himself with inebriation without showing the least mercy, though he merited it being his great uncle, because Dadhimukha is actually the uncle of Sugriva and also to Angada. He threw him to the ground with violence. Then that monkey, his arms and thighs broken and his face mutilated, bathed in blood, fell senseless for a space. Thereafter, disengaging himself with difficulty, that foremost of monkeys withdrew to a distance and addressed his attendants, saying, "Let us all proceed with haste to where the thick necked Sugriva reside with Rama. I shall relate all Prince Angada's misdeeds to him, and filled with ire that sovereign will punish all the monkeys. The enchanting Madhu wood, enjoyed by his forefathers, inviolate even to the gods, is greatly beloved by Sugriva, and he will mete out heavy punishment to those perverse wretches avid for honey, and will slay those who have disobeyed their sovereign with their friends and kinsfolk. Then shall my wrath, which I am unable to restrain, be appeased." Speaking thus to the gods of the forest, Dadhimukha, their leader, departed with them with all speed, and in the twinkling of an eye reached the place where that sagacious offspring of the sun Sugriva was. Beholding Rama, Lakshmana, and Sugriva, that great and heroic monkey, the Dhimukha, descending from the sky, alighted on the ground and with a sorrowful mien, placing his joined palms to his forehead, touched Sugriva's feet. Thus come to the end, chapter 62 of Sundara Kanda in Ramayana. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puramasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Bye.